How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am here with a review of Dr. No, and I'm starting my James Bond movie countdown. If you're new here, please consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel. Now with that out of the way, let's get into this review. Dr. No came out in 1962 and was directed by Terrence Young and stars Sean Connery as James Bond. Now, if we're starting with the positives, I have to start with Sean Connery because he was great from the get-go in this role. And I definitely see why a lot of people still say he's the best Bond. He's probably my second favorite. Daniel Craig's my favorite, but he was great as James Bond. And even from the start, he was great. From the first scene where you get the classic line of Bond, James Bond. This movie also established a lot of the iconic things we come to expect from James Bond movies, such as the theme song. The original theme song started at the start of this movie. It has the exotic locations, a Bond woman, and the classic gun barrel at the start of the movie. Now, overall, I would say Dr. No is a good, solid start to the James Bond franchise. It's, for me, not the best. Some people still hold it as one of the best. It's not quite there for me, but it's definitely not the worst. It's good. I would say it's good, not great. I know for a while I always thought it was just kind of boring, but as I've rewatched it, I've had more respect for it because I see a lot of stuff that it does right. It has some great scenes in it, but I think they were still trying to find their footing in this movie. Overall plot for this movie I thought was fine. It worked for the movie, but it's not particularly memorable. That's sort of how I feel about this movie. The story for this movie is not memorable. It has some memorable moments that have become iconic, like the original Bond line, seeing Honey Rider come out of the ocean, stuff like that. But the plot was just serviceable for the movie. Dr. No, the actual villain, is fine. He's not in it a whole lot. When he's on screen, I thought he was good, but out of all the James Bond villains, he's definitely not the worst, but not the most memorable. The location of the villain's base I really liked. I really enjoyed the island and the underground layer. That was really cool. And I will say the one thing that I just thought was straight up bad about this movie was that dragon tank. When you see it, it doesn't look anything like a real dragon, and the locals around this island believe it to be a real dragon. I'm like, when you see it, it looks really fake, and you can hear like the engine of the tank. It's like, am I expected to believe that these people actually thought that's a real dragon? That was the one thing in this movie that I just like kind of rolled my eyes at. Also, there's stuff in this because it came out in 1962 that probably wouldn't fly today. That's not uncommon for a lot of these older Bond films. In this movie, you get to see James Bond doing a fair bit of investigating into this missing person and into the island that Dr. No is on. And that was good, but at times it felt like they're just, oh, James Bond's going here to investigate and ask questions. He's going here to investigate, ask questions, which at times it got a little repetitive for me. And at times it was kind of hard to not just, look at your phone every now and then and just scroll through Instagram or whatnot. So this movie sometimes is still, for me, difficult to stay concentrated on. I don't find it too boring like I used to, but it still has its moments where it just kind of gets slow, especially after, because I've seen all the James Bonds. I'm doing a rewatch now, knowing that immediately afterwards with From Russia with Love, I thought they really improved upon it, and so that's why my opinion of Dr. No had sort of dropped. I had liked it a lot more when I first saw it, and then seeing how it was improved upon, it sort of thought Dr. No was like, it's a little more boring now, just seeing what they were able to do later on with From Russia with Love and Goldfinger. But you gotta give credit where credit is due. Dr. No did kick off this franchise that's going to be 60 years old this year, which is very impressive to think about. So they did start this franchise, and like I said, it is a solid movie. Like, I can watch it and for the most part be entertained. There's moments where I'll just sort of start having difficulty paying attention, but it got a lot of things right, especially with Sean Connery. Casting him was great, and it did a lot of things that are now iconic tropes in the Bond franchise, like the Bond woman, the locations, the Bond theme song, the James Bond line, all that sort of stuff. So I would give Dr. No a 75%. I think it's a good, solid movie. Not great, So guys, that's my review of Dr. No, and stay tuned for some of my upcoming reviews. I'm hoping to watch a new Chris Hemsworth movie, Spiderhead I believe it's called. It's on Netflix. I'm hoping to watch that this Friday and have a review out for Saturday. And then I'm going to see Lightyear Saturday night, which I'm very excited about. So hopefully I can have a review for that up on Sunday, if not Sunday, Monday at the latest. So stay tuned for those. After that, I'll be back to the James Bond movies with From Russia with Love. So stay tuned for those. And again, if you're new here, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. So until my next videos, take care everybody.